Have you ever noticed that the moment you mention leaving the Western way of life, it's like you've triggered a bomb. Friends, family, even those work colleagues, they just look at you as if you've said something unimaginable, like, you know, you're moving to Jupiter or something.
I am Jupiter. I will munch you up, you imposter!
So why is it that this Western way of life is considered to be the Holy Grail?
This is the Holy Grail.
Now, is this the result of effective brainwashing, where the idea of success is tightly woven in the fabric of suburban housing, a 9-to-5 job and an SUV in the driveway? Is it really because we genuinely believe that this Western way of life is so flawless without any cracks or imperfections? But really, what if deep down it's something even a little bit more sinister? What if those people who are so quick to anger and judgment are so miserable and disappointed with their own lives and lifestyles? Could they just be secretly envious? You know, jealous of the fact that you have the opportunity, and not just the opportunity, but also the strength of mind and the character that is able to think for itself outside of the societal standards, that they just simply are envious and jealous of your ability to question and to design a life for yourself that you truly desire. Live your dream, as they say. You know? And then of course comes the bombardment of questions like, how are you going to make money? How are you going to be able to live outside the West? As if it's some kind of impossibility, that no other place in the world can you find a way to make a living other than in Australia or in America or in Canada. It's as if the West is the only way, and they won't have it any other way. There is no other way. But maybe, just maybe, what if the real question is, why this obsession with money? What if the key to life is setting it up in such a way where you have a limited dependence on that type of life, where you have a limited dependence on finances, and you truly break free from the chains of the societal norms, what's required, what's expected? You know, why do we need a puppet master pulling the strings of our affairs? We don't. So my question is, why does the stigma around leaving the West have to be so brutal and so fanatical? Is it simply fear, ignorance, or just a deeply seated belief in the status quo? So guys, let's just dive in a little more into the nuances of these questions and try to evaluate some of the pros and cons that could come with such a drastic shift in the direction of our lives, your lives. Searching for something different and searching to really make that change to fill what's missing deep down inside, which a lot of us, I believe, today are feeling. Now, if you're contemplating a move to the Philippines, you're not just considering a change in scenery, but you're also challenging the very essence of cultural conditioning that has so deeply embedded itself around the idea of the Western way of life. So, see, the resistance you're going to face from family and friends and society in general is not just about the place, like the geography of where you're going. It's more about uprooting yourself from a deeply ingrained belief system. Like, the Philippines becomes not just a destination, but it really becomes a metaphorical battleground where, like, the clash of cultures and ideologies takes place. It's a step beyond the known, a leap into a realm where the rules of success, happiness, and personal inner fulfillment are completely and entirely rewritten. So I think that moving to the Philippines challenges the fear of the unknown. It demands a kind of courage that transcends the boundaries set by the Western narrative. Rambo! So to me, like, the Philippines becomes this kind of canvas where you can paint a new life that diverges from standardized strokes of the Western narrative. The Philippines, it's basically like a classroom, but for unlearning the biases ingrained by a Western-centric worldview. It's an opportunity to appreciate different definitions of success, community, and just happiness as a whole. And, like, the honest truth here is, doing this kind of drastic move, you know, just challenging everything that you know, it's going to cast a whole new light on your family dynamics, especially the closest family. And the resistance that you experience from your family takes on a completely new perspective. It's not just about their concern for your well-being, and I'm sure that most of them are concerned, but it's more about the conflict of challenging paradigms. See, moving to the Philippines challenges not just your individual choices, but the collective narrative of what constitutes a good life. And I say good life in quotation marks for a reason, because that's open to interpretation. You know, most of the time, success beyond what is considered to be the norm can evoke envy, even from your family. So achieving a lifestyle that in your mind is successful and goes beyond what others have possibly accomplished can trigger feelings of inadequacy. Some of them may unconsciously, or in other cases maybe even consciously, steer you away from your idea of success to maintain a level of, or a sense of, should I say, of equality. And the thing about the Philippines is that the ties between success and financial prosperity are completely redefined, right? Like, the definition changes from what you would normally recognize as successful. There's more than one way to skin a cat, as the saying goes. So I think it's a chance to liberate yourself from the shackles of a materialistic society and explore a life where the pursuit of happiness is not synonymous with the pursuit of wealth or financial gain. So personally, for me, and for Jan, like for us, in our current conclusion, we would say that the Philippines kind of looks like a gateway to freedom. So let's just say you're sitting there, maybe with a degree, a good trade, or even some decent experience, you know, career experience and expertise behind you. And you're wondering, you're pondering making the move to the Philippines or Southeast Asia, or just experiencing a whole new country. Let me just hit you with this. What have you really got to lose? Just picture this for a moment. You decide to give it a go for a year. Worst case scenario, it doesn't pan out. You head back home. Sure, you've missed out on maybe a year's wages. But on the other side of that, what did you gain? A truckload of experience. And I think that's worth more than any annual salary you could earn for a year. And see, and in that instance, that's something I like to call failing forward. See, the thing about failure is it's not the end, it's simply a detour. Your skills, your education, and your trade, whatever you have behind you, carpenter, plasterer, electrician, they're not going anywhere. They're your safety net. So even if it doesn't click overseas, you're not going to be back at square one. You're just reloading for another shot. And if there is one thing that my wife and I, that the Castaway couple really believes in, it's that growth is your ultimate currency. See, what you can learn in a year navigating the unknown, let's say testing the waters in the Philippines, that's an investment in yourself. In yourself, in growth. And guess what? That's a currency that never loses its value. In fact, you could stick that on your resume, right? And I reckon you would stand out above any college Joe with a master's degree. A degree won't prove right? Other than you're able to regurgitate what you were force-fed. But an experience like that in real life shows practical application. It shows strength, courage, resilience, and your character, the power of who you are, the real you. And you'll get much further with that in life than with any measly piece of paper. So ultimately, what is wrong with closing the Aussie chapter, the Western chapter, for a while and opening one in the islands, in the Asia Pacific? Look, in the grand scheme of things, packing up and heading to the Philippines, it could cost you in many ways, but enrich you in others. It's not just about swapping addresses. That's got very little to do with it. I think it's a calculated gamble, an investment in a richer version of you. And it's another epic chapter of your life story and the opening lines of new island adventures. The Philippines is there, it always will be, just like the West, just like Australia and America. But the best part about it is you're writing the script, and who knows, it could be the best one yet. So guys, please let us know in the comments below what you think the pros and cons are about leaving the West for a developing country. What do you think that you might be able to gain? What do you think you'll be able to lose? Maybe give us some of your experiences and share your stories of how some of your friends and family reacted down in the comments below. We would love to know your experiences and some of your successes and some of your failures. So please remember to like, share, hit that bell button and subscribe to this channel. It doesn't cost anything, but it really supports what we do. But until the next video, this is the Castaway Couple signing off.